The Great Divide Trail traverses the continental divide in the vast wilderness of the Canadian Rockies, between Alberta and British Columbia. This is the video diary of our adventure. Day 34 was from the Jonas Cutoff camp to the Old Horse Camp, a 30-kilometer day.
Good morning. Not a bad sleep last night. It rained on us last night, which is always a nice touch. So we're at about 6:05 this morning, and the team is Shira, Crusher, and myself. And Noémie's back at camp. She's probably going to start a little later. And Mango didn't make it to camp last night. She's about 6K back. Not a big deal. We can communicate through our in-reach devices, and we know where she's at, and she's safe and sound with another camper, so that's all good. Little guy. It's okay. See ya.
Leaving Jonas Camp north, the trails were excellent, well maintained, well marked, and it would remain that way until we got to the turnoff towards the Six Passes alternate.
And then there were four. Noémie is caught up to us, and now there's four of us. Shira, Noémie, myself, and Crusher. And we're blasting down the trail. The trail is friggin' awesome.
This leg of the adventure had bridges, lots and lots of bridges, and boy did we appreciate them. Our feet remained dry all day. We even enjoyed the bridges that were not really bridges. Currently the trails were excellent, well maintained, well marked, easy to tread on. So it was hard to imagine that at the next intersection, the main trail was not recommended. We had heard that the trail after the pass was not maintained and in poor condition. And the best option was the Six Passes alternate, so we had some tough choices to make. We were a little gun-shy after taking the Quatinuk alternate a few days back. Back then we received similar recommendations, but we ended up with a surprise, a brutal bushwhack. We chose the main route and crossed our fingers.
We're pushing back our targeted campsite, which was Marylou, because we're doing so well. We're hiking at a good pace. The trail is better than we anticipated, and if everything goes well, we'll be at our campsite by 4. That means we're going to have a short 10-hour day. That's going to be a refreshing change from our typical 12-hour days out here in the GDT.
Old Horse Camp was a decommissioned, unmaintained campsite within Parks Canada. But there was lots of old fallen trees that provided some great firewood. Hidden back in the forest was this old left-behind privy. Luck was on our side once again. We were able to get to our tents before the rain. Day 35 was from the Old Horse Camp to the Little Shovel Camp, a 31-kilometer day.
Good morning. Another glorious morning on the GDT. Last night we had a big storm, but perfect. It started after we put ourselves into the tent, and now we're on the trail. Now all the reports are that this trail is really nasty. So far, it's pretty good. If I had to give it a rating, maybe a C, C minus, because we can see the trail, hardly any navigation, and the obstacles are rather limited, so can't complain. But the four of us started out again today. It's Shira, Noémie, Crusher, and myself. And if all goes well, we'll put another 30K day in, and that'll give us only 3 more days and about 80 kilometers till Jasper, where we're gonna get a dry bed and porcelain toilets. Update on Mango. She gave us a message through the InReach system last night saying that she was camping several hours behind us. So we may not see her again until Jasper. But the good news is she's hiking with a fellow by the name of Glen, who's a retired teacher from Saskatchewan. So they've got company and a little bit of support for safety as well. So it makes us feel a little better. But anyway, our team of 4 is onward and northward towards Jasper.
Up to this point, the trail was just fine, and then we hit the overgrown bushes. The bushes were absolutely brutal. They beat you up, they ripped your pants, they took things out of your pockets. At the end of this adventure, I ended up throwing my pants out, they were so threadbare. The wet leaves left your pants and your shoes totally soaked. Occasionally you would head into the forest and get some relief, but it didn't last long because inevitably you'd head back into the bushes. These bushes were tough and they challenged us in so many ways, but they never seemed to chip away at Noémie's smile. The bushes continued and continued. They beat up our pants, our legs, but not our spirit.
Okay, for supper. What's for supper? Fettuccine Alfredo with chicken or pad thai? Okay, going for this.
After the last bit of the trail, which was gnarly, we are now on a heavily used part of Jasper Park, which we've met tourists already. It's wide enough for Chris and I to walk side by side. The trail is really nice. We're optimistic that it'll be groomed like this right to Jasper. Okay, we're off.
Noémie was going very fast. She split up with us, went off course, and went to a little bake shop. She ended up picking up some supplies for herself, but she brought back treats for the rest of the team. This is what Noémie brought us. Look at, oh! Noémie?
Put it on my foot there.
Yeah, Noémie rocks.
Cookie, I know.
To many, it seems just like a cookie, but in the middle of the GDT, it was like gold. We settled in at Little Shovel Camp, had our supper, pitched our tents, and like usual, we were asleep before sunset. Day 36 was from Little Shovel Camp to Signal Camp, a 29-kilometer day.
Nice early start this morning. All 4 of us are starting together. We're on the Skyline Trail, still going up, up, up. We're going to be on the ridge very shortly. We have a 30K day today, and then tomorrow, 20Ks into Jasper.
This morning our team was Noémie, Crusher, and myself. It's good to note that on the GDT, we seem to hike with different people every day. There's many good reasons for this. Some people may want time to themselves, other people may have nagging injuries, while others may want to sleep in. Mango, for example, is a photographer, and she enjoys hiking at her own pace, so she can take photographs whenever she wants.
In the morning, gorgeous. Wow, it's wonderful up here. Woohoo! Oh yeah, little guy. Yeah, nice to see you. None for you. None for you.
Noémie and Crusher were in a zone. Perhaps it was the nice weather. Perhaps it was their acquired trail legs. In any case, there was nothing that could slow them down. I find that when we passed Curator Lake and approached the Notch, I think there's no better place on the GDT that emphasized my thoughts. Harder than expected and more beautiful than imagined. We discovered that there was cell coverage at the top of the Notch, perhaps the first time in 2 weeks, so all of us paused and called our loved ones.
The last high ridge, high peak, high notch on the Great Dry Trail for us, and it feels good. They're gorgeous up here. They left the best for last.
After we descended on the north side of the Notch, we followed a ridge at about 2,500 meters. It was cold, windy, and absolutely gorgeous. If you could only hike one day on the GDT, I think this is the one. We descended from the beautiful Amber Mountain down some switchbacks into the valley below. We had received sad news. Sections F and G were closed. British Columbia parks had closed large portions of the trail between Jasper and Mount Robson. Spring had not been kind, and the washouts took out many bridges and made the trails unpassable. So Jasper was the end of the Great Divide Trail for Crusher and myself. Section E of the Great Divide Trail ends in Jasper, then Section F to Mount Robson, then Section G to Kakwa Provincial Park. The trail just north of Jasper was unpassable. After 5 weeks on the trail, with only 2 days remaining, it's really hard to describe our emotions. We were tired and we missed our loved ones, but the trail had become part of us, and it would be very hard to say goodbye. We hiked the beautiful valley for a few hours, then eventually we headed up some green trails towards Signal Camp.
Yeah,
Last full day. What a glorious day too. The weather's perfect. The trail was just spectacular. And we got to camp around 3 o'clock. That's the earliest landing we've ever had on the Great Divide Trail on this trip. And we did a 30K day.
I saved my favorite meal for the last dinner on the GDT, Three Sisters Stew. Day 37 was from Signal Camp to the town of Jasper, an 18-kilometer day.
Good morning. It's the last day, baby. Woohoo! Good news too, because my air mattress lost air last night. So it doesn't matter too much from this point forward. I can repair it tonight, maybe at the hotel, or possibly wait till I get home. Not a problem. But there was a problem here at the campsite. A whole bunch of yahoos poured into the campground around 8:30 and made noise till who knows when last night. So the three of us are a little bit tired this morning, and frankly a little grumpy. Not able to get a good sleep because of these people, disrespectful folks.
My trekking poles were still useful, but not worth bringing back on the airplane, so I left them at the trailhead for other prospective hikers. The trails were easy and fast, and we were blasting. My close-out bedroll had not held up from the rigors of the Great Divide Trail, so at first opportunity, I threw it out. After close to 900 kilometers, we were light, lean, fast hiking machines.
I'm tired.
But we were tired. Then there was a short road walk into the town of Jasper. When I got into Jasper, the first thing I did was buy new clothes. The trail clothes were all worn and torn and all thrown out. That evening was the highlight. All the GDT hikers gathered together and shared a meal. The GDT experience was wonderful. We came away strong, fulfilled, and enriched. But the most cherished thing we acquired was friendship.